is a monster that'll come out the marsh and grab your heartbeat.
You hear that?
We dive deep into the mysteries of the natural world. Today, we're venturing into the heart of the swamp to uncover the truth behind an elusive creature that has fascinated and perplexed researchers for years. Swampfoot. You've probably heard a lot about Bigfoot, but what about Swampfoot? Since swamps are their own ecosystem, they have their own unique animals. This one was seen in dark water. Those fangs are enough to give you the creeps. Some thought it was edited video of a bear. Others thought it was just a person in a costume. And there they were, the puzzle. Geeks who were sure it was a marshy Bigfoot. As for us, we believe that compromise is the best way to go. So I'll let you boys decide. Scary jump. A little boy was enjoying a water ride when all of a sudden, something scary came out of the water and gave that rider the scare of his life. Luckily, it didn't damage the boat or the kit, and it quickly went back to its deep habitat. Based on its appearance, it doesn't look like a normal creature. Could it be a river monster, a swampfoot, or a ghost? Well, I guess there are some things we can't say for sure. A creepy. In 2012, a group of friends went fishing in a swamp. As they were trying to bait the fish, one of the guys screamed and said that something strange had caught his arm. At first, they thought he was joking, but then they saw a blue hand in the water, and their fun trip turned into a scary mystery. They thought it was some kind of creepy sea creature, so they left right away. You'd think this was the end of it. But wait, there's more. More chaos broke out when a man in a mask came out of the water. Was it a joke or a real grim creature? Either way, it was scary stuff that will give you nightmares. The swimming horror. This scary video was taken in 2023 while a group of friends were camping in Indonesia. While boating over a swamp, they saw something creepy in the water. You might not see it at first, but here it is. What is it? There are a few theories, but the one you're about to hear is the most likely. A man went missing while swimming in this swamp several years ago, but locals say they've seen him appear out of nowhere and think it might be his ghost. We may have caught the ghost of the missing person, but no one is sure if that's true to this day. Ape skunk. Florida and the surrounding areas have had sightings of skunk apes for hundreds of years. These are creatures like Bigfoot that come out of swamps to scare their prey, but no one has ever recorded seeing one. Now, a hiker near Mississippi is said to have seen one. Yes, this skunk is miles away from home. Many people said it was a gorilla, but its height and shape make it look more like a skunk ape. Unfortunately, we couldn't get a better look because the skunk apes seemed to know they were being recorded, and the shooter cut off the video out of fear. Hopes falling apart. How would you feel if the ground beneath you began to crumble? That's how this guy felt when the swamp began to move. How could that be? Figuratively speaking, the legs of this swaying swamp are fish. And not just any fish. These are alligator gar, a long-lived species of fish that has been known to eat dinosaurs. These are alligator gar. These creatures have been around since the time of the dinosaurs. The real reason for this strange movement is not supernatural. Changes in the weather and climate are causing the water to recede, revealing these prehistoric creatures. But why would something so strange move? A predator. Anacondas are pretty well known, but did you know that they can grow to be 25 feet long and weigh up to 300 pounds? This one was found in a swamp, and look at how sneakily it catches its prey. It would hide its body in the water with its eyes sticking out. I mean, just look at those eyes. They'll give you chills. Would it be flamingos or the capybara? Oh no, the capybara is coming closer for a drink. It's the caravan of lost souls. No other explorers or people have actually come to this side. It's one of the creepiest places known to man. In 2018, a couple of amateur explorers went to an unknown swamp and found a small crack. At first, they thought it was a cave, but when they got there, they were shocked to see thousands of old cars stacked on top of each other, as if waiting to wow them. The cavern not only held broken down cars, but also some of the most beautiful models ever made. It's clearly some kind of junkyard, but the biggest question still hasn't been answered. How did all these cars end up in the car? Were they magically transported, or is the cave just a makeshift lair? It's still a mystery. Swamp. Most of you have probably been to different places, but walking into woods like this is pretty scary. This guy decided to explore the Great Dismal Swamp in the Southerness, which is known for being home to ghosts. As soon as he entered the swamp, he saw swaying cypress trees, but thank God, nothing strange came out of it. He then found an abandoned cottage house and thought it might be where an evil witch was buried. Everything about the place seemed dark, but what could have been there, the explorer chose to leave the area because it sounded like a bad mix of forest bleach trees, a spooky house, and tombstone. The forest scum. A hiker was filming his journey on a trail camera when something scary was seen. A big black furry creature peeking out from behind some dense trees. At first glance, it looked like a big bear, but when it was looked at more closely, its horrifying face could be seen. Most people thought it was proof of Bigfoot's existence because of the creature's big nails, but others thought it was a cursed witch or a ghost. Golems. Oh, Bigfoot doesn't exist. If it did, we'd have a lot of proof. You've probably heard this before, but times have changed, and now we have proof. Take a look. This video was taken by a hiker in Vermont, and definitely shows a Bigfoot or something that looks like the scary creature. The hiker stopped recording as soon as he saw the Bigfoot coming towards him. And while we're sad we didn't get a longer look, it's enough to convince some stubborn skeptics. Looks like eel. An adventurer duo caught this beautifully moving animal while exploring a Florida swamp. At first, they thought it was an eel, but after looking at it closely, they learned it was not an eel. They were shocked to find out it was an alma. This is a very elusive animal. That's definitely an amuma, right? Yeah, even though they look like eels. Amumas are actually a type of salamander with more advanced anatomy and features. For example, amumas can live underwater and have the amazing ability to change colors and dig holes. They may look like eels, but this animal is actually an Eel Pro Max. A mutant man. In 2012, a group of friends recorded their forest adventure when a strange animal walked by. At first they thought it might have been a coyote. What do you think that was? What was it? Where did you see it? But when they looked more closely, they saw what looked like a man walking, but not just any man. It was a man with spikes that looked like lizards. They couldn't believe what they were seeing and didn't know what it was. Some viewers said it might have been the alien that escaped from Eerie. Some people compared it to the lizard man, a mythical creature that is said to be coming out of South Carolina's swamps and thick forests. Well, that sounds like a terrible nightmare. huge monster. In 2015, a group of fishermen boating in a body of water in Sydney, Australia, saw this strange creature. It has no resemblance to any other animal. Some might say it looks like a crocodile, but I don't think so based on its size and coloration. That leaves us with only one possibility: the Loch Ness Monster. Over the years, many people have said they have seen this creature, little skunk ape. The video was uploaded anonymously in China, but the uploader hasn't said exactly where or when it was made. There's a reason we're looking at the alleged baby skunk ape, a relative of the abominable Bigfoot, tucked into a small crack next to the muddy swamp, as if it's looking for safety. You could say it's a monkey, but just looking at it makes you think of something strange. But let me raise a bigger question. If it really is a baby skunk ape, wouldn't that mean we have proof of Bigfoot and that it's having babies? Unfortunately, we don't know anything about it, but it's interesting to think about. Grimm's troubles. A man found a strange creature off the coast of the United States. At first, he thought it was a skeleton, but then it started moving. If we look closely, the upper half may resemble a human, but the lower half looks different because it has what looks like a fin. To get a better view, the cameraman moved closer to the creature, but it dove into the water, so we may have to rule out the possibility that it is a mermaid. Holes in the mud. Even though swamp animals are scary enough, imagine the swamp itself coming to life. Sounds crazy, right? Well, wait until you see this. What you're seeing here is a sinkhole, which forms when water flows underground and breaks up dirt into huge holes. Gap likes the way they look. Sinkholes are scary because they can pull anything beneath, making them a lot like black holes. The scariest thing about sinkholes is that you can't tell when they will appear. In 2020, one suddenly appeared in Kenya and started eating everything in its path. Luckily, it wasn't near any homes, so everyone was safe, but it did a lot of damage to the crops. There were shipworms. There are two of them sitting on a tree stump near a swamp in the middle of nowhere. What could go wrong? Well, be careful. This could be hiding inside the tree. These may look like snakes, but they're actually shipworms, which are marine animals in the genus Mola. They live in logs, stones, and any other hard structure in the pond. Sometimes they get so long, as you can see in this picture, that they're shocking. Very big fish. That is a man-sized fish. In 2021, a man went fishing in muddy water. It was supposed to be a normal fishing trip, but things turned bad when a very large fish started swimming around the area. The fishermen became determined to catch this huge creature, and it was caught right away. It was estimated to be the size of an adult man, which is bigger than a lot of people here.